You know what's strange about the place you're in right now? In this exact moment, as you sit and contemplate your life, you might be completely healed from something that once shattered you, and you don't even realize it. Let that sit with you for a second. You could be going through your day, thinking you're still broken, still damaged, still carrying the same old wounds that once defined you. Meanwhile, in the background, quietly, invisibly, your psyche has been rebuilding you piece by piece, the way a forest regrows after a fire, silently reclaiming life while no one's watching. And here's what most people don't understand. Healing doesn't show up with big announcements. It doesn't crash into your life with trumpets or some divine proclamation that says, "Congratulations, you are now healed." Real healing is subtle, it's slow, it's organic. It's the psychological equivalent of watching a tree grow. You don't notice the change day to day, but one morning you pause, look up, and think, when did I become this different? When did I get this strong? Over the next moments, I'm going to prove something to you. You've healed more than you think, and I'm going to show you exactly how to recognize the proof. But listen carefully. This isn't some feel-good talk that tries to convince you everything is perfect when it's clearly not. This goes deeper than that. What we're talking about is something I spent my entire life studying, a process called individuation, the journey from fragmentation to wholeness, from psychological chaos to psychological order, from unconscious survival to conscious living. If you stay with me, I'll walk you through 7 unmistakable signs that this transformation has been happening inside you, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet, because here's the truth. Nobody tells you. Your consciousness is always the last one to know. Let's begin with the biggest misconception people have about healing. Most people think healing is linear. You're broken, you do the work, you get better. A straight line from pain to recovery. But that's not how the psyche works. The human mind is not a machine you repair with the right tools. It's an ecosystem, complex, layered, full of hidden processes happening beneath the surface. You don't get to watch it heal in real time. You only see the results long after the process has already begun. For example, have you ever noticed you can't pinpoint the exact moment you stopped being afraid of something? Maybe public speaking used to terrify you. Your heart raced, your hands shook, your stomach dropped every time someone called your name. And then one day, someone asks you to speak, and you just do it. No panic, no spiral, no mental chaos. You simply step into it. When did that change happen? You can't name the moment. It just did. That's what real healing looks like. Quiet, sneaky, gradual. And here's the problem. If you don't know what healing actually looks like, you'll miss it when it happens to you. You'll keep believing you're broken long after you've already healed. You'll keep searching for a transformation that already took place. I see this all the time. People who have done years of inner work, years of therapy, shadow work, journaling, self-reflection, and they still describe themselves as working on it, still healing, not there yet. Meanwhile, the evidence of their growth is everywhere in their actual life. They respond differently, they choose differently, they hold themselves differently. They are no longer the person they were 5 years ago, but they can't see it because they're looking for the wrong signs. That's what we're fixing today. I want to give you a framework, a way to recognize real psychological transformation based on how the psyche actually works, not how we wish it would work. And I promise you, by the time we finish, you're going to see yourself through entirely new eyes. But before we identify the 7 signs, we need to define what healing truly means. This is where I broke from most therapeutic and spiritual traditions, and why my ideas were considered dangerous at the time. Most approaches define healing as becoming good, becoming the idealized version of yourself, eliminating your anger, eliminating selfishness, eliminating pettiness, becoming Furusu, becoming morally upright, becoming the best version of yourself. But here's what I realized. That's not healing. That's repression wearing a spiritual mask. Because when you try to become good, you start rejecting the parts of yourself you don't like. You push your anger, your jealousy, your impulses, your desires, your flaws, all of it, into the unconscious, into what I called the shadow. And the shadow doesn't disappear. It grows. It gains power the more you ignore it. Think about the most judgmental people you know, the ones obsessed with criticizing others, the ones always pointing fingers at someone else's flaws. What are they doing? They're projecting. They're seeing in others what they can't accept in themselves. The angry person who hates aggression, the secretly jealous person who accuses everyone else of envy, the person terrified of desire who shames everyone else for theirs. That's the shadow at work. So I proposed something radical. You don't heal by becoming good. You heal by becoming whole. By integrating everything, light and dark, conscious and unconscious, acceptable and unacceptable. I famously said, I'd rather be whole than good. And I meant every word of it. Healing isn't about cleaning yourself up to meet a moral standard. It's about integrating reality, accepting the totality of who you are. Because once something becomes conscious, you have power over it. You can choose how to express it. You can transform it, but you cannot transform a part of yourself that you refuse to acknowledge. Healing, real healing, is integration. And this integration process doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifelong journey. But along the way, there are very clear markers, signs that prove the work is happening beneath the surface. Starting with sign number 1, the gift of solitude. You can be alone without feeling lonely. Being alone used to terrify you. The silence felt suffocating. Your mind panicked. You reached for distractions, the phone, the TV, the noise, anything to avoid yourself. But now, you can sit with yourself, even enjoy your own presence, feel peaceful in a quiet room. That's because you've met yourself, the real you, not the mask, not the persona, not the ideal version of you. You, as you are. That's shadow integration. And if you can sit alone with your thoughts without trying to escape them, that's not just maturity. It's psychological evolution. You've healed more than you think. Sign number 2. When the past loses its teeth. Your old triggers don't trigger you anymore. You used to spiral for days. Now, you feel a twinge and move on. That shift didn't happen magically. That was healing. That was integration. That was your psyche doing years of background processing without telling you. When triggers lose their power, it means the wound is no longer running the show. That's massive. Sign number 3, the paradox playground. You can hold contradictions without collapsing. You can love someone and be annoyed with them. Be grateful and frustrated. Be confident and uncertain. Be healed and still imperfect. That's not confusion. That's maturity. That's the transcendent function. That's becoming psychologically whole. Happy but clearer, less haunted, more grounded. That is healing, not always consciously, but undeniably. Your unconscious shifts before your conscious mind catches up. That's why you might think you're stuck, but your dreams reveal you're not. Your psyche is already reorganizing itself in the background. If your dreams have changed, if their emotional tone is different, if the same nightmares no longer hold the same power over you, that is one of the clearest signs of deep psychological growth. Sign number 6. The shadow becomes a friend. This might be the most important sign of all. You've stopped waging war against yourself. Once upon a time, you rejected entire parts of your personality. You denied your anger. You hid your jealousy. You disowned your selfishness. You suppressed your desires. You labeled pieces of yourself as bad, wrong, unacceptable, and shoved them deep into the unconscious. And every one of those rejected parts became part of your shadow. The more you rejected, the stronger the shadow became. Healing begins the moment you stop pretending you are only light. Individuation begins the moment you embrace the fullness of who you are. And here's what it looks like in practice. You can now admit things about yourself you used to deny with everything you had. Yes, I get jealous sometimes. Yes, I can be selfish. Yes, I have anger. Yes, I have impulses I don't always understand. Yes, I sometimes think dark thoughts. But instead of spiraling into shame, you acknowledge it as simply part of being human. This is the paradox Jung called the gold in the shadow. The parts you feared most, the rejected anger, desire, selfishness, assertiveness, impulsivity, contain tremendous energy. When they're integrated into consciousness, they transform. Suppressed anger becomes healthy boundaries. Denied selfishness becomes self-respect. Rejected aggression becomes the drive to protect what truly matters. Ignored desires become creativity and vitality. And when you integrate your shadow, something else happens. You become less judgmental of others because you understand. You know what it means to have darkness. You recognize the humanity in flaws, impulses, contradictions. You no longer need to project them outward because you've owned them inward. Your entire inner world softens. You stop tearing yourself apart. You stop expecting perfection. You finally allow yourself to be fully, beautifully human. And that inner exhale, the release of self-judgment, is one of the most profound signs of genuine healing. If you can own your flaws without shame and without turning against yourself, you've integrated your shadow more than you realize. Sign number 7. Life feels meaningful again. This final sign is subtle but unmistakable. It's not about having a perfect life. It's not about eliminating suffering. It's not about everything finally making sense. It's about something internal. Life starts to feel meaningful again. You feel drawn to creativity, or to service, or to spirituality, or to presence, or to beauty, or simply to being alive in a way you haven't felt in years. Moments feel deeper. Ordinary things feel richer. You sense an invisible thread connecting you to something larger than yourself. This is not delusion. This is not fantasy. This is the self, the deeper organizing center of your psyche, calling you forward. This is the shift from ego-driven living to soul-driven living. When life begins to feel meaningful, even quietly, even inconsistently, that is healing. That is integration. That is individuation taking root. So here we are. 7 signs, 7 quiet markers of transformation, that most people overlook because they're expecting healing to feel dramatic, explosive, cinematic. But real psychological healing doesn't move like lightning. It moves like seasons. It shifts like tides. It unfolds like dawn, gradual, subtle, almost invisible, until suddenly, everything looks different. Let's recap these signs so you can truly feel their weight. 1. You can be alone without being lonely. You've befriended yourself. Silence no longer feels like punishment. You don't run from your inner world anymore. 2. Your old triggers don't trigger you. The past has lost its grip. You're no longer pulled under by emotional undertows that once controlled you. 3. You can hold paradox without collapsing. You're no longer imprisoned by either-or thinking. You can be complex, contradictory, fully human. 4. Other people's projections don't stick to you. You know who you are. You can sense what belongs to you and what comes from someone else's shadow. 5. Your dreams have shifted. Your unconscious is reorganizing, settling, integrating. The inner chaos is slowly becoming inner order. 6. You've stopped waging war against yourself. You've made peace with your shadow. You've accepted all parts of who you are. 7. Life feels meaningful. Not easier, more meaningful, more alive, more connected to something deeper than ego. Now listen carefully. These signs are not goals to chase. They're not achievements to brag about. They're not spiritual merit badges. They are natural byproducts of the individuation process. Individuation, the core of Jung's work, is the psyche's natural movement toward wholeness. The same way a plant grows toward the sun, your psyche grows toward integration, toward fullness, toward authenticity, even when you're not consciously guiding the process. That's why so many people are healing without realizing it. Your psyche has been doing the work in the background, in your dreams, in the way you respond differently, in the way you see yourself more clearly, in the way your emotional reactions have softened, in the way you simply exist differently than you once did. Your consciousness is simply late to the party. Most people never realize they've healed because they're stuck in old narratives. I'm broken. I'm still working on myself. I'm not there yet. I still have issues. I still make mistakes. But here's the thing. You will always have issues. You will always have shadow. You will always have flaws. You will always be growing. Healing doesn't mean perfection. Healing means wholeness. Healing means awareness. Healing means choice. The psychological freedom Jung talked about is not about fixing yourself. It's about knowing yourself so deeply that your flaws no longer control you. Your insecurities don't run your life. Your complexes don't hijack your behavior. Your triggers don't dictate your choices. Your shadow doesn't sabotage your relationships. You become conscious, and from consciousness comes the one thing repression can never give you: real agency. You gain the ability to choose your responses instead of merely reacting from wounds you didn't understand. This brings us to the most important part of the entire discourse. What do you do with all this? Now that you know these signs, now that you've identified the ways you've already grown, now that you've recognized evidence of your own transformation, what's next? 1. Stop underestimating yourself. Seriously. Take a moment and acknowledge the distance between who you were years ago and who you are right now. Not in accomplishments, but in consciousness. How you manage your emotions, how you handle conflict, how you sit with discomfort, how you speak to yourself, how you navigate relationships, how you relate to your past. If anything has shifted, that is healing. Stop dismissing it. Stop minimizing it. Stop pretending you're still the same person. Give yourself credit. 2. Trust the process. Individuation unfolds on its own timeline. You don't need to force it. You don't need to micromanage it. You don't need to heal faster. Your psyche knows what it's doing. It has an intelligence older and deeper than your conscious mind. Your only job is to stay aware. Notice your patterns. Watch your projections. Observe your reactions. Engage your shadow. Pay attention to your dreams. The rest happens naturally. 3. Be patient with yourself. Healing isn't linear. You will have setbacks. Old triggers will sometimes flare. Some days you'll feel like you've regressed. But regression is not failure. Regression is part of the cycle. It's your psyche showing you material that still needs attention. You're human. You're in process. You're becoming. Let the journey unfold. 4. Help others recognize their own healing. The world desperately needs this. Most people don't realize they're growing. They don't recognize their transformation. They're still clinging to old self-images that no longer fit. When you highlight someone's growth, when you point out how far they've come, you give them a mirror they didn't know they needed. This is how we create a culture that understands healing, not through perfection, not through denial, but through recognition. 5. Keep going. Individuation never ends. There's no finish line, no moment where you become fully whole and stop growing. No version of you that is complete. You're always unfolding, always deepening, always integrating, always discovering new layers of your psyche. This is not a flaw. This is the beauty of being conscious. The goal is not perfection. It's participation, engaging with your inner world, staying curious, staying open, returning again and again to the work of being human. Your transformation is real. So here's my invitation to you. Pause. Take a breath. Look inward. Which of these 7 signs did you recognize in yourself? Where have you already healed without realizing it? What quiet transformation has been unfolding in you while you thought you were still broken? Maybe it was. Your comfort with solitude, your softened triggers, your ability to hold paradox, your immunity to projections, your shifting dreams, your peace with your shadow, or your return to meaning. Whatever it was, acknowledge it. Let it sink in. You are not who you once were. Your psyche has been working, integrating, repairing, and growing, even when you weren't consciously aware of it. You're not as damaged as you think. You're not as lost as you fear. You're not as stuck as it sometimes feels. You are healing. You are transforming. You are becoming. This journey, the Jungian journey, was never about becoming someone else. It was never about achieving perfection. It was never about suppressing your darkness or polishing yourself into some spiritual ideal. It has always been about one thing: becoming fully, authentically, wholly you. Light and shadow, contradiction and coherence, complexity and simplicity, humanity and divinity, pain and beauty, chaos and meaning. That is individuation. That is psychological health. That is the quiet miracle happening inside you right now. So here's my final request. In the space below, tell me which sign resonated with you the most. Which one made you think, that's me, that's happening in my life? Because when you share your story, something powerful happens. You make your healing conscious. You own your transformation, and you help someone else recognize theirs. Welcome to the journey. You're already further along than you think, and you've healed far more than you realize.